time. It is our fourth live stream from February. So the fourth page that I'm going to make today with our February supplies. Let's get a look at what we've done so far. These three were all live streamed here, so you can find them in the February playlist. And a little extra thank you for the slightly later time today. I'll explain that in a minute. Right, so we have made 2 starting points. Those are the Monday videos. So we've done this one where we started with an L shape and then worked from there. We've then last Friday did this sort of composition where I worked on things for the edges and then a horizontal line of embellishment, including the photo across the middle. And then this Monday's starting point was a bit of central composition where we had that box and this box and 1, 2, 3 cut aparts, and then went from there and I did a row of photos with embellishment kind of going back and forth down that vertical column. And that is what we have done so far with February. Today, I've got 2 3x4 photos. I don't have a specific Valentine's Day photo because we haven't done anything for Valentine's Day just yet. I think the Adhesive Avenger, well, I know the Adhesive Avenger's just gone to the bakery to pick up nice things for lunch. So there is that. I'm going to do a little now and then layout because I thought this would be a different kind of story to tell about his whole theater thing at the moment. So if I zoom these in for you, this is a photo of his very first pair of shoes. And I got them out for him the other day so he could see that indeed I wasn't making it up. He was obsessed with trains as a tiny child, and I let him pick out which shoes he wanted from all the different kinds they had in his teeny tiny size, and he was not having anything but the ones with trains on them. And now he's in a show all about trains. So I thought I would put those two together. Sound like an idea? And we're going to use Valentine supplies to make that happen. And I have no problem with putting these bits of blue in with lots of lovely pinks and peaches and reds even. I think it's going to work just great. So that is the plan. Cool? Now, little bend and snap for you. Bend and snap. And while I bend and snap, I'll tell you why I had to start late. It was 2 reasons. Everything was happening at the same time, and it was all happening at 10 a.m. So number 1, if you've been watching for a while, you know that he's been in like super study mode, and then he did all of these exams to get into secondary schools, and then he did all these interviews for extra bits and pieces to get in, right? Results came out this morning at 10 a.m. So I know the results. It's a happy day. He doesn't know the results yet because he's at school. So I have to now just sit on it all day. But I was sitting there waiting and refreshing. And then those came in and I could read all of that. So all the studying and working has paid off. Yay. But then the other thing that happened was, very musical theater nerd, the musical Hunchback of Notre Dame, as in the stage version of the Disney film, yeah? Menken and Schwartz. So, you know, the team behind Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast and all of that, plus the team behind Wicked and Pippin. Yes? So, Menken and Schwartz is a beautiful musical. It has never been licensed in the UK. I have hoped so many times that it would get a West End production because chorally it is insanely beautiful. I was lucky enough to sing it before I left the States, and I'm not sure there is anything I have sung in my entire life, Carmina Burana included, that was that exciting. It's just absolutely gorgeous. They're doing it for 1 day in August. Do I know if we're free that day? No. That was my Taylor Swift ticket moment. So I spent from 10 until I think 10:27 and a half in the virtual queue. But I have 2 seats for me and a WB to see Hunchback of Notre Dame in the West End. It's my equivalent of Taylor Swift. Be happy. Right. Speech and scrapbook. Let's do it. Hello! My name's Shimelle. I teach online scrapbooking classes, design scrapbooking products, and help you use them to tell your stories in a creative way. It's not just my hobby, it is my job, and that means anytime I scrapbook on the internet, it's considered advertising, and legally I need to make sure you're aware of that. So thank you for coming to watch my hashtag advertising. I appreciate if you just added harmony. You are welcome here, whether you are live, chatty, watch from Tomorrowland, quiet, craft, don't craft, think about coming back to craft, pick up a new craft, it's all cool. All the links to the stuff that I use, you will find in the description box with this video. That includes the supplies I'm using today. That's the February kit. There's a list of supplies. And then next month's is already up, and that's the March supply list, the March shopping list. And my March stuff actually, make sure there's no like identifying details there. My March stuff arrived yesterday, and it is, yes, prettiness. And this is background color palette, but look, lots of brights to go on top of it. So March is here, March is in the house, March is linked for your shopping pleasure. Thank you very much. Anything else? Oh, and I am teaching at an event called Scrap and Learn this spring. It's an online international retreat, a retreat you can do from your own house. And so there are several different instructors. If you're in the States, you can order it with supplies. You can participate from anywhere with or without the supplies. So I think the kit is just US shipping. But then if you want to either use your own stash or you're not within the States, you can still participate and you just don't pay for the supplies. Make sense? So that is called Scrap and Learn. Have I added a link to the description box? Not at the beginning of this. Shall I do it at the end of our video? Yes, I think I shall. But if you Google Scrap and Learn, and you should find it. All good? They also have an Instagram account that will give you a little look at all the different teachers. I'm teaching at that event using my Reasons to Smile collection. It includes both sets of thickers, all of the paper. It's going to be very, very fun. Right. I think that's it. Let's go. George has got a question to start us off. I have a layout I want to submit for Scrapbooking Cards today's magazine call, but because it's A4, do you think scanning it would be better than a photo? If you have a scanner and it's easy for you, then yes. If it's going to be a big faff, don't worry about it. A phone picture is fine. What you need when you're submitting to magazines is a very clear square on picture. So we don't want your layout to end up looking like a trapezoid because you've taken it at an odd angle. We don't want your colors to look weird because you took it in the bathroom at 2 a.m. We don't want there to be a big shadow that makes us unable to see it. So you want nice neutral light. So natural light is great, but like today I've had to shut my curtain halfway because the natural light is a bit angled and extreme because winter. I'm glad to see you though, Sunshine. I hadn't been worrying that you didn't exist. We have not seen sun in about 10 days. So I'm very glad that. But yeah, you just want a nice clear thing. So you can use artificial light, but make sure it's not casting a yellowness or anything. So just be aware so that your colors in your photo look like what you've got. So what I do is if you take it with your phone, then take the picture, pull it up on your phone with the full brightness and hold it in front of your layout. Do the colors look the same or do they look different? If they look different, you need to change what you're doing. And then yes, Georgia, you're submitting a nice clear photo, but if your layout is chosen for publication, you post it to them and they photograph it. The other thing you will end up doing some of the time, oh, excuse me, hold on. Hello, do I have a voice? I think so. The other thing you do with some magazines and some pages, it depends on the project, is that you then also send them digital copies of the actual photographs that are on your layout so that they can use that directly in the design rather than have a photo of a photo, if that makes sense, so that everything prints as cleanly and crisply as possible. So yeah. If a scanner is easy for you, then go for it, but it's not a big difference. As long as it's nice and clear, That's fine. Right, let's look at paper options for this. So things that I still have in a full sheet include all of these. Oh, there were more than I thought. Plus the wood grain, but I don't think this is the wood grain page. We will have a full background wood grain this month, but it's not today. It might be one after today with red accents for Valentine's. That could be cool. Auntie Caffeine feels like she's won the lottery if she's here for live. That's adorable. So we could definitely go navy. And we have 2 options there for the navy. And see, I originally thought darker, but this also does kind of give you the idea of old fabric. These 10-year-old shoes. Or we could brighten it up like that and use this cut. I kind of think that would be great. See, there's this bit of blue up here. I kind of think that might be the winner. I don't think green. No, let's go that way. Okay. Yes, and then, oh, where have I put my little sketch notebookie today? I don't use it on a Monday, so I've stopped putting it in the same place that I used to put it in. I did, however, I've fixed my laptop problem. I can't put paper on my laptop. I've got I can put my hand underneath. So now I won't accidentally set my laptop on fire because I noticed by just putting 1 sheet of cardstock, when I picked the cardstock back up, it was 1,000,000 degrees. It was so hot. And I'm like, ooh, we're not doing good things here. We're not doing good things. So I think this is a wiser choice. I've got it lifted up on a little contraption from IKEA. Okay. What do my 3x4s look like? The "You Are Cute" might work. I'm not guaranteeing it. If I can see all of these colors together. I want this red. Have more of that red if I need it. I probably do. Because the little train it's even the same colors. Silver, red, and blue for both the costume and the shoes. Would I ever consider a monochromatic layout with all the blue? It would be a challenge. It wouldn't be possible with the supplies I have here because I simply don't have enough solid color blue stuff. I could do it in a different format. And Lord knows that I'm going to have plenty of these types of photos. So yeah, we one day could do a monochromatic blue. Yeah. Let's go ahead and take this one out so that I can use the tiny cut aparts. And I have this in the larger format here. So I can have the black and white hearts. Oh my gosh, Anna. Anna was in a car accident Wednesday night going to work. 3 trees, not 1, but 3, fell on her windscreen. The car is totaled, but you just got scratches from the glass. I'm so glad the universe was looking out for you in one way or another, because that sounds terrifying. Your poor nervous system. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you've spent the last 24 hours decompressing in some way. Goodness me. Okay. So it was strong winds. Wow. That's really strong wind for sure. Now, quick look for where I put my sketch notebook, or if I should just sketch on something else. Did I put it somewhere nice and simple? Of course not. Why would I do that? Okay, we'll just wing it. I love when I try to find something that I can just use for a sketch, and like, Shimelle, you're in a room full of paper. Yes, but it's not all the paper to draw a sketch on. Okay, this is fine. All right, let me find my notes, because my brain's just gone, what were you planning today, Shimelle? Okay. I was planning like this. Is that going to work with that background? Yes, I think so. Right. So we have got two 3x4s, and we're going to have a loaded up border. So the photos are going to be like this. I know that makes them look like two different sizes. They're the same size. Forgive my lack of scale. Okay, and then we're going to have lots happening over here. Now, I'm going to draw this as straight lines, and I know Amy's here. They're not all going to be straight lines. Just saying. So we've got some that are less than straight. Okay, and then we're going to have some embellishment over here, like a cut apart. This is a great place for my title. And this is a great place for journaling. Optional, you could journal up here as well if you need more space. Now, what I want to do then is to take some shapes that can repeat. And then confetti around those shapes. Like that. And we are 14. Oh, 2, 2, 5. Right. So this is my plan today. Auntie Caffeine loves that I do the sketch. Now, the sketch comes from experience of live streaming. I didn't always do this. Left to my own devices, I might not always do this, but I have learned that it's not particularly fun to watch somebody just do the here, or here, or here, but maybe here. And that's how, if I don't have a plan, that would totally happen. If I sit next to you at a crop, I'm totally going to do that. But having a little bit of a plan makes me go, okay, I know where I'm going, off I go. And that makes for our live streams to be a bit more productive. And if I can be more productive, then some of you are more productive and all boxes are ticked. Fabulous. Now, some of these are going to be straight cut and some are not. So I'm going to start with a straight line of this one. And I think we're on black ink today, seems wise. Oh, this is more than 12 inches. It's like, why does it not reach? I forgot. I have not taken the branding strip off here. And not, what am I saying? 49 Market, they, instead of having like a design on the back of the branding strip, they just take the B-side and print it all the way to the bottom. So more than once, I have not realized that and have created a 12 and then some layout. It's not the worst thing in the world, but you have to trim it before it'll fit in your page protector. But if I'm doing something like this, where we're going to have pieces that go all the way above, all the way edge to edge, that's it, no margins, then it becomes really obvious. Now, the navy. I want the navy to be the torn piece, and I want one of each with the torn edge. So, you know, look away now. So one that way, and then one this way, which I can just cut. I'm done tearing. We're all good. At least for now. So, pieces that I have over here. Oh, and this one still has branding bit. Oh, Kelly, that's so lovely. I'm so glad I could be useful. Ah, see, we've had this discussion on caffeine. I'm surprised that 49er Market is your sort of thing. It's so vintagey. It's not vintagey if you look at bits and pieces, yeah? So I don't pick the stuff that looks like old seed packets. Or if I do, I end up using the edges of it. No offense to if you love an old seed packet, it's just not my vibe. But the thing that is my vibe is their amount of layering, the beauty of the quality of their cardstock, and they do a lot of lettering type elements that are really nice. They do things like negative strips from film, and those elements to me don't feel that same sort of vintage. But also, let us not forget that I worked for Jenny Bolin for a long time, and that's very vintage. So to me, it's all in how you pick and choose which pieces you're going to use. So, for example, that background pack that's in next month, Crafty Garden, yeah, I just got the background papers. I don't have the rest of the collection. Yeah. There we go. No, I think Katie designs a lot of stuff that is that's less vintage than you would think. It's just very, very, very layered. Yeah. Elaine says this 49 Market background is very Taylor Swift Lover era encoded. Yeah, it does. It looks like that. You need a Polaroid on it, yeah? Polaroid. No, this is not shabby chic in the slightest. No, it's not shabby chic to me. No, it won't be. It's not. And I'm going to put it with these really bright pieces. It's not going to feel shabby chic. I can't think that any of my layouts feel shabby chic. If they do to you, I'm interested because I don't feel that that's my style. Oh, am I out of glue? Let's swap. Yeah, it's all in what you do with it. Remember, next month, the kid has Winnie the Pooh, and I'm not scrapping any Winnie the Pooh with it. It's going to be fine. It's all in how you look at your supplies. And to me, that's a big part of the creative process. Like, I like being creative with the stuff and maybe trying to make something that maybe when it was designed, people didn't think, oh, you could make that. it could mix with this style. So there we are. How does this page look with that? It looks lovely, so we'll have this. Yes, please. Georgia says if it was shabby chic, it would be a chest of drawers painted white with some distressing. I have a kitchen chair like that, but it's more of an accident. It's just waiting to be replaced. Oh, Joanne said 49 Market aren't going to make those page kits that I love anymore. Well, that's sad, but understandable. I might have to go buy one of each that's left. I like them. Where did you hear this, Joanne? I mean, if I get to the end and you think it looks shabby chic, go for it. Tell me. But it's not what I see when I look at it. Is it really not? So we have this sort of border started here. Oh, Joanne said she saw it on Instagram. That's all right, Kelly. I'll be picking up as many as I can find. I love those kits. Oh, Amy's got a new teacher in the classroom next door, and she's a scrapbooker. Amazing. Right, so how are we looking here? Now, I want red behind these photos. Don't worry, red's going to come into the border. It's just not there yet. That's too small for here, so we need the big one. Oh, I wasn't going to keep them together. Sorry, I'm on autopilot. Noreen says, why do scrapbook manufacturers feel the need to change what appears to be working? I get your point that it makes us go and overpurchase, like I've just said, I'm going to go buy them before they're gone. It's not that, though. Keep in mind that what feels like it's working to the individual crafter does not equate to what is working at the bottom line of a business. Some of the products I love the most were absolute bombs in terms of making a profit. And yes, overpurchasing is how companies stay in business. That's capitalism. So there you go. Yeah, you have to be mindful of what you buy. When I say I would use them, or I would buy them, it's because I know I use them and I know that I get a lot from them. So that's why it would be a loss to me. But the reason it doesn't surprise me is because you're getting so much for the purchase price that I can't imagine that they're particularly profitable. There's a lot of physical labor that would go into a kit product as well. Yeah. Yep. I can't give you an example, but some of my favorite products that I have designed did not clear a profit. Definitely. And I had one product that I have tried to launch over and over again, and it's considered too much of a risk, even though I know that we would use it because we've used other products to try and do the same thing. But it's a business. It's their choice on what risk they're willing to take. Anyway, yeah. Georgia says, when you see what's on clearance, that's what didn't sell as well. Yeah. Can I manufacture it myself? No. I know my strengths, and manufacturing and being a shop is absolutely not going to be it. No, I do not have the skill set that is required to organize product creation, quality control, all of that. No way. I am in no way interested in ever being a manufacturer myself. Nope. If I won the lottery and I could spend my money on whatever, nope. Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to go further up here. I don't really think that I do, Georgia. Georgia says I do stamps so well. No, I don't. I use a high quality manufacturer, so the stamps are quality, but it's chaos in my life. And mail order is imperfect. I just had this on the other end with an order that the tracking said it's available for pickup. The people at the pickup place are like, no. And I kept going back, and now the tracking says I collected it. I'm like, that's strange. I didn't. And I know that, this is the imperfection of mail order. And so I still, it still goes, and it carries on. I do that one set a year, and it's quite a lot. And so I don't really want to be doing that all the time. Oh, Noreen said when she heard that Creative Memories was closing, she bought way too much and even got in a bidding war on eBay, spent a ton on things that now she can still buy today. So live and learn. Yeah. I wouldn't go and buy something just because it's being discontinued, but I'll buy something if it's a product I know I would use. Like, I wouldn't buy multiples of the kits. I would go in, because I have some that are kind of sitting there in my save for later. And I might go through and be like, okay, these are my 3 favorites. I'll take these 3. Yeah, that sort of thing. Okie dokie. Where from here? So I said a cut part over here. Now, could do... Oh, I thought I'd stuck that. I haven't stuck that. I'm not convinced that that's the best cut apart, so let's look at the other options. The orange square. Yeah. Georgia says, do you do the stamps as a digital product? I haven't thus far. The interesting thing to me, if anybody does also do digital scrapbooking, I'm really curious. Do you only buy from places that are marketed to scrapbookers, like a digital scrapbooking shop? Or do you go to somewhere that is a wider marketplace, like Creative Market? Because some of the work I have done is not marketed to scrapbooking. So you can find my handwriting saying happy birthday on greeting cards that are not through American Crafts, that I don't even know exist. Sometimes I see them and I'm like, oh, hey, that's me. And because they're not marketed with my name on it, I have sold digital packets of, phrases that card manufacturers would use, and then they can license it, and then they've paid for the license. I don't get anything else after that, right? So yeah, to me, if I'm going to market my handwriting, that's the better option, is to go to the wider graphic design world. I had a digital scrapbooking shop back in the days of 2Ps when there was a real surge. I didn't find it hugely successful, but oddly, some bits were purchased and surprised me to no end. So one of the first digital products I ever put out was a repeating distressed pumpkin pattern because it was October. Someone bought the commercial license because you could buy a commercial license on 2Ps, but I was expecting mostly only scrapbookers to shop there, but some graphic design type people found it. They bought the license for that, and they've been using it ever since, but on really random things. So every once in a while I get an advert, and it won't be, they have no idea I designed it, so I wouldn't be tagged. But it'll come up as like targeted advertising, and I'll be like, hold on, why do I recognize this? And I zoom in. I recognize this because I drew it. And they made shower curtains with my pumpkins on them. And it was like one of the very first things I ever designed in a digital format. So I was not convinced that of all the things I've ever drawn, that's what should be turned into a shower curtain. But apparently, if you need distressed pumpkin shower curtain, it's out there. It's purple. I had it in all colors, and they chose purple. So, who knows? But I've never taken the stamps and done that. I've done fabric. What else have I done? T-shirt designs. Yeah. The t-shirts make me giggle. If you buy a t-shirt from my shop, I get $1. So I thank you. If you buy a hoodie, I get $2. Wow. Wow. But I don't mind. It's just fun. And those are sort of I tend to do those as kind of practice-y type things. And I know a lot of other artists who have t-shirt shops, it's a similar thing. So when you are designing at all, if you stop drawing at all, then the next time you go to do a job, you have to remember how to draw. And so I do a lot of like random little doodles, and then I'll either send them to somebody as a joke to make them smile, or I will put them on a t-shirt. Okay, let's focus. Right. But yeah, I think I don't mean me specifically, but with what's happening with AI and art at the moment, doing things like buying people's doodles on t-shirts or buttons or stickers or whatever, it doesn't need to all be t-shirts. It is a way that you can encourage actual human created art. Yeah. Right. You want a little bit dramatic t-shirt? I will work on that one. Yes. Auntie Caffeine is remembering she has to keep her InDesign skills. Yeah, I haven't used InDesign in years, so I would definitely have to watch YouTube tutorials to get back into InDesign. Definitely. Okay. Can I use the Adorbs one with his little tiny shoes? I think I can. Here. Yeah. Okay. This needs more paper behind it, though. What's going to go behind it? Oh, Auntie Caffeine, you weren't here on Monday. We pulled out some basic gray. I'm now curious. Does this feel shabby chic to you? Curious. Right. What else can we put with this? I've got a bit more red. What was the B side of that? I think I might cut into that one. We used that on Monday as well. Hole punch. Where did I move you to? You're here. Excellent. What is Creative Market? Asked Justine. Creative Market is a marketplace for graphic design. So you can, if you are working for a company that needs to create shower curtains, you can buy things for making, you know, buy a graphic and stick it on a shower curtain. So we're going to go here. Oh, I did not put the adhesive in the right place for that. Here. And then here. Okay, so we've got a bigger block there. Somebody thinks this one is Cosmo. Nope. I know the pattern you mean. There was a cleaner version of that pattern, very similar, that was Cosmo Cricket, but this is Basic Gray Nook and Pantry. The Cosmo didn't have the texture and the design, that textured crosshatch design over the top. Yeah. Oh, the Friday crowd does not agree with the Monday crowd. Woo! Them's fighting words. No, I'm kidding. The Monday crowd loved Basic Gray. We went through my Basic Gray shelf and pulled out some highlights. The Friday crowd is not a fan. Oh. You okay? Me? Yeah. Okay, sorry. It sounded like something fell. Oh, it was the pressure cooker. Sorry. It sounded like something fell off the counter or something. I have to take the munchkin to work tonight, so, you know, super romantic Valentine's Day evening, leaving my husband home alone. He's cooking dinner. The pressure cooker. Okay, I think that's going to help. Does vellum make it more shabby chic? All right. Okay. So got a bit of vellum there. Up here, and I've got this piece to go in here. Let's pop that baby up. So we have got so much tearing. I'm sorry, Amy, I'm sorry. Not sorry. You know, I can't use vellum cut straight. I have to tear it. I'm purposely not inking this one because I want it to be a little brighter on the top layer. Now, lettering. Oh, and these die cuts here. So now I've got this shot of orange. I need to kind of make some use of that. So I can do orange in 3 places. It's probably a good idea. What do I have in these? Because I haven't used any of these as a title yet. Oh, I thought this said just be you. It says just for you. I would have rather had just be you. Okay. Let's see. Ah, I do have a U. I want something along the lines of like meant to be or foreshadowing. Something along those lines. What else have I got in the orange? I have an orange heart like that. Okay. I have a little orange phrase here. Oh, see you later, Jean. Okay, so we could go with this behind the red. I'm not huge on the UR. Should I just cut it off the UR and just have so great? I don't particularly like the shortening. Which then makes me think, I don't like the Crisco. That's not what I meant. Let's just tear up everything I made. There we go. Controlled destiny. Ah. Oh, because now it's so close on that side and the margin's too big over here. Okay. Other way. There. Goes under that one. Okay. I do have that heart again in a smaller size. Do the bigger one down here and the smaller one up at the top. Okay. Georgia says, I choose you. Oh, you're so funny. Okay, so we tuck that one there, and we tuck this one here. Oh, I can see it in my mind, Georgia. It's brilliant. I wonder if there'll be jokes backstage about it tonight. Okay. Title happening here. Am I ready to stick this? Just to stick it in the middle and then I can tuck stuff. So. I have orange lettering. And these. I pop it up? Do I not use it because it's not actually the right colors? It's not, is it? It doesn't go as much as I wanted it to go. It doesn't go. Technical terms. Okay. I need to do the middle one. I wanted to do little and big, but I think that's too much contrast. Okay. I stick with the same font. It's funny, he's not the only one of the kids who plays this role who is a real train nerd. One of the kids who just finished has the entire London Underground memorized. And on his last day, they did an online quiz where it's how many tube stations can you type in a certain amount of time, and what percentage of the network can you get covered. And if you've never looked at the London Tube map, there are a lot of stations. So that was kind of adorable. Okay. And these little ones. Oh, I only have one N. I wanted to do in control, but I can't do it in those little ones because I can't do in and control. I only have one N. Okay. So, but I could just write control and use it as a tucky. C-O-N. No, I can't. There was only one R and I've already used it. Okay, so if I want to do that, I need different stickers. Right. We need way more embellishment now. This red has got to come across here. So let's look at what we have that is red. One. And remember, these little black and white hearts are on here, so that makes sense. One there. One there. There's two. We got in the die cuts. So I do have one more like that, but bigger. So if I go with this being the largest, this one's going to be small. Do the second in a different font to show the lack of control. Oh, so the reason I wanted to use control is that that's the name of his part. So I don't want to say he's out of control. He plays control. That's the part. What about a different color in the same alphas for the in? Yeah, I probably have it in the pink. I don't know if I have. I always use the key letters in the small alpha and then end up not being able to spell a lot more. Okay, that's a start. Now, I could add, I'm not going to add flowers. That's not my plan, at least. But I want to show it to you with flowers in case what you're scrapbooking would be great with the flowers. So the next thing I would do is add in these pieces, but tuck them under so that the hearts are more prominent, because we have 3 pieces there at least where we could do red florals. But I don't want to do floral. I want stars because of the show. So I'm going to cut some stars and let us see what sizing options could work here. I was thinking about possibly the dimensional star punch, but it is packed away with a different project, so that is not on the cards today. So instead, let's look at star dies maybe. Okay, dies really need an intervention for a hashtag organized. Oh, but here's some stars. Okay. I just tried to pick up a die like I would a sticker like that. Don't do that. You'll just dent a star into your finger. Okay, I think that is that whole set. It's just 3, if I remember correctly. Okay. The other thing that might be useful here, because we've got this whole border situation going on, is a border die. So shall we try a bit of this? It could go here, maybe. I don't know where it would go, but they're very even pieces now. But it can't really interfere with the title, so it would need to go this side of that. Okay, this one. George is ready to organize my dies. What would you suggest? They're currently in a basket. Like, just laying in there. Right, let's grab the die cutter. I don't use dies enough to warrant the cost or space of any of the magnetic options. Definitely not. So some red. Oh, and blue. So what blue do I have? Could I do the lighter blue? Is it appeared on the page at all yet? There's this up here, and there's the navy. So what I'm wondering is, there's a light blue grid in here. This one. So I think stars in that. Possibly the border, maybe in this, maybe in red. We'll see. Okay. Okay, so Georgia, what would you put them in if you're making them flippable? So, sorry, Georgia says get a shallow box or two, categorize them, put a card between them, saying borders or hearts or whatever, and then you can flip through. What would you put them in? Because the packaging is different for every brand. They're not all the same size. Like this is a full set of dies, but also that is a full set of dies. So what do you do? I'm going to do 3 sets of 3 in this blue, by the way. Plastic wallets. See, that's where I go. Why? Yeah. CD wallets that you can get different places. There's something about me that it's like there's too many steps to put things away. I won't put them away. That's why the basket works. Like, I know where all the dies are. They're just not in a particular order once I get there, other than the order that I visually remember from the last time I looked. Yeah. I find it really, I'm not being dismissive. I always find it really interesting to see what really works to some people, because it's not always, it's often not what would work to my brain, or my brain goes, no, we can't do that. And yes, I know it's weird that anytime I think about that, think about like how my brain processes things, I automatically go to we. You can analyze away. It is what it is. I don't know why. Now, the other fun thing here is that this piece is going to look cool on its own. So I'm going to use this one down here instead of up there. And we might use this piece a different day. George is like, this is why you need me to come organize it. I had somebody help me with this when I was once when we were in the old flat. And the problem was that I couldn't maintain her system. And I think that was the big realization. I have to use something that I can maintain. And I'm not perhaps very good. That's why all my die cuts live in a basket and it doesn't bother me, because I know where they are. All the die cuts are in that basket. You want a die cut? It's in that basket. And that's really good. It means if I have die cuts left over on my desk, I know where they're going. They're going in that basket. So yeah. There we go. Kelly likes seeing how people organize. It's a peek into people's brains. Yes. Now, what do we got? This is longer than the paper. That's okay. We're going to come over here. And we're going to center it. And we're going to cut. Oh. Very nearly did the wrong thing there. That's better. You can tell I have done the other thing twice in my life. Cut into the mat instead of the paper. Lee gets magnetic vent covers from the hardware store. Cut to the die envelope size. Store dies on the magnetic sheet in the envelope, and then put them in a bin or basket you can flip through. I don't die cut enough for that amount of additional price point on each die to ever, pay itself back. I just don't die cut enough for that. I guarantee I would love how it looks. But I always find dies are expensive anyway. I don't want to add more money. Georgia has a caveat for her organizational skills, that it's all organized in her own way, and that if anybody tried to come in and find stuff in her space without it being her, she's not convinced they would find it. Well, I appreciate your honesty. I mean, it's more organized than mine. But I'm always curious. I'm also curious if that went through on one pass or if I have to cut it again. Nope, it went through. All right. I think that's enough die cutting for today. But here, I'll be really good. And I will put that away. Now look, that piece ended up cool, right? So we used that another day with different pieces behind each star, with the scraps at the end. So don't let me forget. We'll come back to that later in the month. Kelly says, I think the cost of dies will soar. Yeah, it totally will. The only American company that was making steel dies has basically said this week, we can't do it. And so their waiting list was already prohibitively long. Dies are made in China. Yeah. So they will cost way more. So I don't buy very many anyway, because I've always found them to be a rather spendy item that I don't use all the time. So something like these stars, which were one of those, that set of stars are totally in the basket when you check out at Hobbycraft, like the ones that are right by the till where they used to put chocolate bars, and they're not allowed to put chocolate bars there anymore. So now they put like little die cut sets. That's that sort of thing. So that is a tiny little purchase that I would use. These we did on a promotion. I wouldn't be like, I'm gonna buy them full price, but we did a promotion, so I have them. Okay, let's bring the stars in now. So I have 3 of each size. I also have 3 areas of embellishment. I don't want to just add on to this. I want to build, and I want to connect things that are there. So we're going to bring this in to meet the title, which is easy to do because of vellum. Yes. Oh, George is going to post on the Facebook group to ask people to show their scrappy spaces. That's a brilliant idea. Yes, please. Put this one under the vellum. Like that. Then we want to connect here. I keep forgetting which adhesive I'm using. So we're going to come under here. Go over. Georgia just has the mini die cutting machine, so her dies fit in a little flippable wallet, because this would be useful in that, but not the big borders, I'm guessing. Or does it, can the tiny ones do a border because they can just go infinitely long or not? I know they can't do wide, obviously. Where shall I go? Let's bring it here. And then we want to connect to this corner. Yeah. So we come under the vellum here. Connect all the way over to that title. Under there. Oh, sorry. Amy says, why can't they put chocolates at the checkout anymore? Oh, we have a war on sugar. So anything that has sugar now has to go a certain distance from the checkout. So now, like at the grocery store, the checkout has nuts, and you only get the sweetie aisle if you have a really long, windy checkout. So the one near the theater, it's like a snaky checkout, and the first row of when you first go through the first snake, which is never really that long, that one is full of sweets. And then as you move closer, it's nuts and protein bars. Sugar tax. And like, a Coca-Cola Classic costs more here than Coke Zero or Diet Coke because we pay sugar tax. Yeah. I don't know how well it's working out. It's supposed to make us a healthier country. I don't know. I still buy Haribo. Oh, yes. In Georgia, no, not in Georgia. Georgia says at the petrol station, sorry, I got all my words mixed around there. Georgia, can you be not named after a place so that it doesn't make sense when I do that? Petrol stations have all the chocolate right at the till. I don't know why their rules are different, but you're right. So, yeah. Okay. Remember, there's going to be writing here and here. Oh, this blue border. Oh, now I'm not going to use this here because I did it in the same color as that. Unless I put it all the way over here underneath the torn piece. Could be cool. Let's try it. I got to figure out how to make it go together because that's a longer expanse. But I'm up for it. Yes. When you order at McDonald's on the screen, when you get all the sodas, you have to scroll right down to the bottom, and the Coca-Cola Classic that has sugar in it is not brightly colored like the other drinks. It's so weird. I don't know all the ins and outs of the rules, but yeah. Everything just has artificial sweeteners because you don't pay the extra tax on them. Yeah, notes on a postcard about if that's any better for us. I don't know. There's a lot of protein bars at the checkouts of places. And some of them are interesting, and there's one that somehow tastes like Biscoff but has no wheat in it, and I'm not quite sure how they do that, but it is nice. But some of them, if you look at the ingredients, particularly the ones that are not vegan or vegetarian, those protein bars have things that you would not imagine you are eating in what appears to be a chocolate bar. I don't know if anybody's ever looked. They're kind of weird. Okay, I think the answer is that I just don't ink the top of this. I don't try to make it match this way. I overlap. I think that will be fine. I will say, though, our sugar is not corn syrup because we don't have a corn industry like the States does. So, and as somebody who reacts to corn syrup, annoyingly, that does work out in my favor. So our sugar comes from either cane sugar, which would be imported, or beetroot. And that is produced here. We do have beets in this country, sugar beets. But we don't have a massive corn industry. All right, can that go kind of like there? But actually I need to move it here a little bit. I'm going to come back and add the adhesive on there, but is it in the right place? Not quite. Let's try again. And then I want to move it because of the torn strip. I'm going to kind of cheat the bottom. Okay, so let's just use a small piece here to match this up. Sorry, I know my hands are all going to be in the way of what I'm actually making here. I would maybe advise sticking them together before putting them on the page. I think that would have been way easier. Yeah, hindsight's 20/20. And then we're going to go here. I know that's not a straight line all the way down, but it's okay for what I want. No, I do like that. That's lovely. Now, twine. Yeah, I haven't had caffeine. I don't do caffeine at all. I haven't since I was a teenager and my kidneys decided to go, no. So yeah, the Coca-Cola doesn't really affect me. I just find it strange that different fizzy drinks are different prices because, I mean, none of them is a health food, let's be honest. Right, we need some dots. We have these dots available. Which one of these is the best match to that background? It's this pale one. Let's bring that in. So put one bundle with each of the little orange heart combinations. Maybe this one comes down here. Okay. That brighter pink. Or this one as kind of an off-take of the red. I actually kind of want red, and I have used all the red from here. I don't know what I have in the realm of red at the moment because I have used a lot at Christmas. Oh, that one's a good match. Let's have that. See, hashtag organized, Georgia. I knew where they were. They're all in a basket. Trying to decide. I only have two sizes. Maybe I just do this on each one, each of the medium-sized ones. Like that. Yeah. Gold. Oh, or rose gold. Yes? I mean, I know there's real gold here too. Georgia works for the wrong company. She gets cheap car hire, but she would prefer free drinks or chocolate. That's hilarious. Oh, Georgia said she gave up caffeine, but her ADHD symptoms and traits got worse when she stopped having the caffeine. You're not the only person I've heard that from. I had to give it up first year of uni, so I think I have adapted, but there are days where I'm like, oh, I really do wish that I could inject focus, because that's totally what I did with caffeine when I was 17, 18. Like, you want to ace this exam that you have not actually studied for, and it's tomorrow morning? We can do that. But yeah, I'm glad that I didn't develop that as a lifestyle like forever. That would probably have been a bad idea. Okay, so I want to go along with the background collages to add these sparkles in. Kelly would have used silver. I don't have a good silver option. If I find this twine in silver, I could go back in and replace that. Okay. Now, interesting, on the spraying this, because on Monday I sprayed it instead, and I just wanted to show you the warp factor. Now, warp factor, Captain, increase the warp factor. We do get a warp factor. Now remember, this was barely adhered anyway because I wasn't quite sure and I kept moving it around. So it's not a problem to adhere it back down, and actually I don't dislike the look, and when it's in a page protector it's going to be fine. But I just thought for those who like to look at a video as kind of a product experience, like a review of what happens with the product. So spraying it over a layout that had layers adhered did make these pieces curl up, where this one, the adhesive is closer to the edge. So even though this bit has a bit of spray, it didn't warp, but that one and that one really did. Now, this is sprayed up here. These pieces are small enough that nothing warped. So it's larger pieces. Yeah, the edges of this one did. Yeah, so there you go. If the warp factor bothers you, there you go. Right. I want this to have a shot of bigger blue, more saturated blue. Where am I going to get that? Also, is it looking shabby chic? Right. Oh, I could get this kind of color blue if I got little blue letters, because I wanted to add in some bits. So maybe that's how I do it. Let's look at what we've got in blue. Oh, there's one that's open. True Stories blue. Yeah. And then I've got blue tiles here. Okay, let's see what I can spell control in. It's actually a really nice match there. C-O-N-T, no R's, out. C-O-N, no T's. C-O-N, one T, R-O-L. Okay, so I can do it in this. Auntie Caffeine says, nope, it's not looking shabby chic. So there we go. Just your style. We're going to add in 3 phrases in the same color. Oh, I don't like how that ends up there. So we'll put it on top. Maybe? Where can you go? Oh, I could cut it. Yeah. Let's make it into 3 stickers instead of 1. And it's going to go here. Now, this phrase I put in the collection all those years ago because it could be used multiple meanings. So, like these things happen, like, that's a shame. These things do happen. But also, oh, I'm going to go this side of the tag actually. Like these things are meant to happen. Yeah. Now, I know I've got a little open space there. I'll deal with that in a moment. So we've got that bit of blue there. I'm going to tuck the control lettering under the vellum here. So let's talk a little bit. I know it's late in the game now, and anybody who was feeling this way is probably already switched off. But let's talk a little bit about how do you take an idea like this that's a really specific story to my particular child. Where do you then find this useful? Because I know many of you who watch all the time now have no problem with that, and you're looking at things like the sketch and how it ends up here, and then you adjust for the story you want to tell. But I also know that not everyone finds that easy, and that you want a bit more literal, and maybe what I'm scrapping isn't literally close to anything you've got. So do you have something that you could do a then and now kind of thing? Now, if you use Facebook, Facebook often will come in and tell you, hey, look at this thing that you posted 10 years ago. Go take a picture of the same thing today. Oh my goodness, it's a useful tool that Facebook has given you as a scrapbooker. So you could do that. You could see what you took a picture of 10 years ago. It doesn't have to be Facebook. You could just look in your photo library. And then go take a picture of the same thing today. That thing might be you, and I wholeheartedly endorse that. Can I do in? Yeah, just because the spacing is a bit better. And, oh, that's going to need more glue. Okay. Yeah, so you could do a then and now combination. Stars work for lots of themes in my mind, but they might not in yours. And I know some people don't like mixing hearts and stars, and I mix hearts and stars all the stinking time. So I'm sorry if you visually don't gel with that. So you could replace one or the other. So you could do all hearts. You could do all stars, obviously. All stars. Or you could take the stars, and replace that with the flower die cuts, remember? And the flower die cuts could either go straight into these three areas and keep the embellishment areas a little disconnected from what's in the middle, or you could place them like I did here. Especially if you're using the vellum, you can then take something that's quite a bold item and put it under the vellum, and it's not going to be so bold, okay? Oh, Georgia wants to do a then and now because she is on a health kick and a weight loss plan. Well, we look forward to seeing your then and nows for things like that. And so, yeah, you could replace the stars with the flower die cuts from the kit. You could replace them with any other shape. You could leave them off entirely if you prefer to have a less embellished style. If you wanted to put more photos on this, you've got room to make this at least 3 photos, or you could lose the embellishment here altogether. And if they're overlapping, you could even do 4, boom, 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 because they're going to overlap. They won't take the whole 12 inches. You'll still get a little bit of room. Yeah. Journaling, if you want half the journaling space, you use this down here. If you want lots of journaling space, you put it up here too. I am feeling like I need a little sprinkle of the darker color because everything is a bit pale around the edges, and I want this to come down. But I don't know. Did I ever keep... I didn't keep many colors of mist, but at one point I had the one that was like passport blue. I don't know if I kept it. I have a cornflower blue here that is very Taylor Swift. So we could use that one. Oh, is that it? Is that my passport blue? It is! Oh, I did keep passport blue. It's like I like navy or something. So that feels, I mean, that's less crazy than this. Kelly did a then and now layout recently. She went to the same place for her wedding anniversary, 2014 and 2024. I love that. I keep meaning at some point, maybe in the summer, WB has never been to the little town where we got married. So I think it'd be nice to show him around there, and I wouldn't mind visiting there myself. So maybe we do that this summer if we end up around. Yep, you could totally do 2 different birthdays or multiple birthdays. You could, if you want to do 4 photos, you could do like the 4 years of high school for those of you who have a 4-year school. Things like that. 4 seasons of the year in your garden. Or just 4 viewpoints of one place. So if you've got travel photos, line up as many as you want. And you could still use this same setup. Oh, it was bigger than I wanted the second droplet. Getting the little tiny bits. That's what I want. There we go. It's kind of right. So that's an old mist that is. Kelly's got photos on her desk of 2 kids with gingerbread houses. Yes, you could totally do this. And then you use your Christmassy colors. You could use scallopy pieces like that because it's going to kind of remind you of the icing on a gingerbread house. Love that. So this is an old one, Tattered Angels Chalkboard Glimmer Mist. So it's kind of a chalky finish with a sparkle to it. I'm going to hold it up, but I'm not sure that you'll be able to see the sparkle or not. Let's see. You can sort of see that it has a shimmer to it. Okay. Then, just because, I haven't scared you enough, we're going to do a tiny, tiny little bit of the navy in the same places, but I don't want big droplets of this. There we go. That's it. No more mist. All right. Let me make sure that Maleficent doesn't get angry because I just cleaned her up the other day. Oh, she is going to get angry. Okay, that one's dangerous. Hold up. This is just water. Maleficent, don't get mad at me. Sprayer doesn't work anymore. Okay. Phew. All right. So that is where we're going to finish today. I think I've added enough. So a little zoom in so you can see details, but we've got, oh, sorry, the sunlight has moved and now I've got this funny little beam going right across the zoom in. There we go. So thank you so much for joining me today. I'd love to see what you make with this, and if you are up to sharing, that'd be super duper awesome. Tag me if you do. I will be, Monday is not going to be live, I don't think. I think Monday is going to be pre-recorded, but there will be something here on Monday. It's half-term week, so I gotta have a little bit more flexibility in my schedule, but we'll have something on Monday, and I will see you very soon. And I thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed, and give it a thumbs up, that's super duper awesome. Lee says, I don't always have the pictures for Best of Both Worlds layouts. I just make the layout and use it as a base page later. I'm getting ready to use the first show layout at the beginning of January for a show she saw last weekend. Yay! Amazing. Right, have a good one, everybody, and I'll see you next week.